Hello to all traders and welcome back to the market review brought to you by Orbex. So we're looking at FX pairs as we cap off the week because we saw quite a momentous downshift in the euro dollar and cable and other currency pairs against the greenback because the dollar was on quite a roll in yesterday's session after progressive GDP data for the last quarter of the year running into 2026, and also jobless claims were quite progressive as well. So we saw quite a big movement in favor of the dollar, and this is all about whether the Fed is going to aggressively cut rates in the next two meetings. So because of this data, we saw an upshift in the dollar, which boosted sentiment that not only the Fed might not even have any aggressive rate cuts, but they might not have any cuts at all. We were kind of promised two more cuts by the end of the year in both of their meetings of 25 basis points, but we'll have to wait and see because obviously next week's non-farm payrolls numbers as well could be another spanner in the works for a lot of traders, because if this comes in quite progressive, then the Fed might see the outlook very, very different to a few weeks ago or even a few months ago. But what's interestingly enough on the euro dollar chart is since we had the Fed's cut of the interest rate of 25 basis points after traders bought the rumor for quite some time, once the news did come out, then that was a complete sell-off, and as you can see here, hitting lower lows, testing 118 but crashing through that quite significantly, moving through 117 and now testing the mid 116 area. So over 150 pips dropped off, but even more significantly, from the time we did have the interest rate, we had a spike in the euro which is quite significant because of over 200 pips now since that interest rate decision. We're just seeing now price action looking for some kind of support, which it has been found roughly around the mid 116 area. If we look at this lower spike here, or in the middle 116.55, we're just waiting to see now if price action can keep hold of that particular zone, because we'll just wait and see if we're going to be moving a little bit higher. But traders and bulls alike will need to probably get to the 117.50 area before we can start thinking of a rebound backwards. As you can see here, the RSI is in a major oversold area, so most probably we will see a slight bounce, which we're waiting for. But the general rhetoric, the general consensus and sentiment is that we could be seeing more of a downshift if the Fed doesn't give more clear signals that it will start cutting quite significantly. And like I said, this was seen on cable as well. It was even more of a detrimental downturn for cable. If you think that it was trading above 137 at one point, now we're down to 133, the mid 133 area, so over 300 to 400 pip drop. But in yesterday's session, as I said, let's go onto the daily chart, be a little bit easy to see. In the last two trading sessions, as you can see here, very, very bearish downturn and price action moving to the lower range of the oversold area on the RSI. So this is quite significant as well, because if we don't get a clear, as I said, signal from the Fed, and with the trade tariffs going on, and also with the geopolitical tensions heightening, we could see the market quite shaky in the next few trading sessions. But obviously Friday, a lot of traders do stop trading in the late afternoon. They obviously stop for the weekend, and we'll see what happens next week and what we can really sink our teeth into in terms of news. Obviously the non-farm payroll data will be the main news event of the week, and if we can get some kind of uplift, which we probably will, because the last two or three readings from the non-farm payroll have been very, very down in a bad way, in a very detrimental way actually, not even hitting the 100k mark. So we'll just wait and see if that's going to have any effect on where the Fed is going to go next. But as usual, we'll bring you all the latest in fundamentals and technicals as they come on our YouTube and Telegram channel. So stick with us there, trade responsibly, and have a great weekend ahead. Bye for now.